with a lot of people, but there are some people that were good when they started, and they've just continued to be good. And Helen Humes is one of those people. She's been belting out the blues for 50 years. She began singing with Count Basie's band in 1938, taking Billie Holiday's position as band vocalist. And that's a position that might have terrified any other singer. But Helen Humes became and has remained a favorite of nightclub enthusiasts. So please welcome at this time, if you will, Miss Helen Humes.
Do I love you? Oh my, do I? Honey, honey, did I do? And do I need you? Oh my, do I? Honey, honey, did I do? Now I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'm always hanging round you. And do I want you? Oh my, do I? Honey, honey, did I do? I say now, do I love you? Oh my, do I? Honey, honey, did I do? And do I need you? Oh my, do I? Honey, honey, did I do? Now I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'm always hanging round you. Do I want you? Oh my, do I? Honey, honey, did I do? Now, honey, did I do? Oh yes, indeed I do. Honey, honey, did I do? Yeah.
Oh, boy. Man, Helen, you just raised this whole studio about 11 feet, I think. That got things off to a real start.
Well, good.
Tell us how you met Count Basie, because I know when you started with him.
Yeah. Oh, well, I was working in a little club in Cincinnati, Ohio, called the Cotton Club. And I was there working with Al Sears's band. And Basie came in and he said, would you like to join our band? And I said, whose band is this? And he said, well, I'm Count Basie. I said, oh, how are you? So I said, well, I don't know. Well, what do you pay? He says, I pay $35 a week. I said, oh, no, I can't go with it because I make that here and I don't have to travel. Yeah. But then the following year, well, Al's band went to New York and I went with them.
Yeah.
And we were working at a place called the Renaissance, and John Hammond was there. And John liked me. And he told Basie about me again. So that was it.
When you first met him, though, you were just in your early teens, weren't you?
Oh, yeah, when I first met him, I was.
And you've been going strong ever since, but I wondered, there was a period where you dropped out of it briefly,
yeah.
and then you came
Well, you
back.
know, I drop out lots of times because...
but not for long, fortunately.
Well, you know, now, when they first started this bebop,
Yeah, right.
well, I stopped then because you'd go to a place and they'd have a piano playing, he'd go tink, tink. He couldn't read, you know, and they would just do that. So I said, oh, well, I'll go home. So then the last time I stopped was in '67 when my mother took sick. And
Yes, that's right.
yeah.
You went to St. Louis?
Louisville,
Or Louisville,
Kentucky.
right.
So after I lost my mother, I had to stay there with my father because I lost him in '75. He was 96 years old.
He lived to be 96.
Yep.
Is that right? And since then, you've been recording and
So
performing.
since '75, well, I've just been, well, I'm just glad I could carry a tune.
You've had an exemplary life, too, because, you know, in the big band era, let's face it, there were people, many of them, who fell into the pitfall of alcoholism and drugs and everything, and
Yeah.
you somehow managed to not do that.
Well, I'm so glad I did manage not to do it because, you know, like sometimes they'd say, oh, Humes, here, you ought to try this. You're such a square. And I'd say, well, I can look at you and see how you acting, and I don't want to act like that.
You betcha. Anybody calling her a square doesn't know what the meaning of the word is. That's pretty good music you make. How about doing another one for us, could you?
All right, I'll do a little number that I had the pleasure of recording with the Basie Band 2-3 years ago.
Okay. What's the name of it?
Don't Worry About Me.
Oh, marvelous. Okay,
Yeah.
Helen Humes.
Now don't worry about me, 'cause I'll get along. Just forget about me and be happy, my love. Just say that our little show is over, and so the story ends. Why not call it a day the sensible way and still be friends? Just look out for yourself, should be the rule. Just give your heart and your love to whomever you love, but please don't be a fool. Darling, why should you cling to some fading thing that used to be